Hello everybody and welcome to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved custom scenarios. If my voice sounds a little bit hoarser than usual, there's a reason for that. Yesterday I recorded for about 9.5 hours and then streamed for 4. And, well, that tends to do things to the voice, so... Let's see if we can find something. I did get some requests this week from people on the Discord, so thank you for that. SCP-1104? There it is, the nose crab. Well, SCP scenarios are usually pretty exciting. Nose crab, if this is what I'm thinking of, it's literally a crab that grows inside your nose. I'm sure we'll learn more about it as we go. Word of warning, this is my first scenario. It may be rather bad, but I'm hoping not. Ah, come on. Papa Walrus, have some confidence. You'll do fine. I also apologize for any spelling mistakes, as English isn't my first language. You're doing great so far. I'm rather fluent, but I still get quite a lot wrong. Some of the stuff is from the wiki, some of the stuff I made up. Since there isn't a lot with Mr. Nose Crab, all feedback is appreciated. And I tried making a cool description, but Plague Inc. hates me and took away all of it. Praise Pravus. Praise be. Alright, let's subscribe to this thing and give it a shot. I'm curious. So yeah, the nose crab, it's literally got like a little larva that implants itself in your nasal cavity, and as it grows, it's like... It is a crab, and its appendages actually start trying to push on your optical sensors, I think, trying to encourage you to go in directions of hydrogen sulfide or something. It's been a long dang time. It's a parasite. It looks a little bit more like a worm than a crab, but that's okay. ATP boost, genetic mimic, aquaside, stream file, and symptostasis on normal difficulty, and we'll just call it SCP-1104 because don't feel like dealing with that all the time. Thank you for playing my scenario. Hope you enjoy it. You may want to try and not get discovered early. You'll spread quickly after a bit. Okay, you are SCP-1104. You are also known as the nose crab. Lots of lines. You are a larva that is 0.4 millimeters long that was expelled from a lava tube and went airborne. A lava tube in Indonesia, because we never do Indonesia. I don't know, sounds fun. Alright, transmissions. We start off with air. Makes sense. Probably want to pick up water as well, so I'll do that now because we are in an island nation and it's humid. Mosquitoes. If SCP-1104 larvae land on a mosquito, they hitch a ride on it much like a botfly would do, with its eggs waiting for a human host. Good and poor areas. And bird. The birds eat the larva. However, the larva has a chance to not be digested. It causes the birds to poop them out onto unsuspecting victims. Ew. Now I'm even more terrified of bird poop than I was before. Alright, symptoms. Excrete H1 receptor antagonist. Excretes an array of H1 receptor antagonists, I don't even know what that is, that suppress both local inflammation and implementation further larva. Decreasing severity sounds like it could be pretty useful, but, So it's a chemical reaction that tries to reduce the likelihood of your nerves and your sensors detecting there's something wrong in there, I don't know. Grow appendages. Over a period of 6 to 8 months, SCP-1104 will grow and extend appendages through the host's ethmoidal canals. Is that correct, ethmoidal? I'm not too sure. Increases a little bit of severity. All right, and for abilities, we have eggs. They're laid at the site, redacted. Larvae are ejected out of a lava tube at site, redacted. Symbiosis, important. SCP-1104 becomes more in tune with the host, making it less likely to be noticed. Okay. And then there's eggs. Finds more places, including but not limited to sewer pipes to lay its eggs. Ew. And nothing else we can see there right now. And then we have our standard drug, heat, and cold resistance, which we already start with some heat resistance, which is kind of fun. Not bad starting off in Indonesia, then. It's hot and humid. Easy. Easy stuff. All right. A cotton shortage inspires a nudity boom. Is that what I just saw there? That's awesome. Robotic hand gets frisky. This just in, a man called 911 yesterday evening to report that a robotic hand that he had made getting a little too handsy and is actually stuck in a place where no one's hands should be. The man claims he has no idea how it happened. A likely story. Let's grab the mosquitoes. That unlocks botfly. Poses as botfly eggs waiting for a human host. Okay. Cheap clean power has been discovered. Yeah, we've seen that before. Why am I getting all the pop-ups again? I didn't used to get these many pop-ups. It's like the game just resets once in a while. Alright, we could go for growing appendages. I don't think we need to reduce severity right now. We could go for more eggs, and I think that's probably worth it for starting. Larva 2. Where was Larva 1? Oh, that's Larva 1. Oh, well, I assume... Oh, okay, so this is an eggs 2. Well, then what's here? I don't know yet. Larva 2. Larva ejected from more places to infect more humans. My god, my voice, though. I mean, I probably will not record this entire week's Plague Inc. videos in one sitting here because, as you guys can tell, I am struggling a little bit. Probably shouldn't have recorded for that long in a row, and probably shouldn't have gone streaming. But I did, so... Alright, we could go for Larva 2, which gets us some more severity. And I guess we'll do that. This unlocks Larva 3. The larva of SCP-1104 grow teeth like points to burrow into the human body, and spikes to stay in place. Increases severity and infectivity. Doesn't sound like something I want right now, but we can go for the receptor antagonist to reduce the severity, so we're trying to control it pretty nicely. And so far, there are plenty of ways to reduce the severity, so I can't say that I'm feeling especially worried. Let's go for more air transmission, since that is still pretty good. We are now growing appendages, but the severity is still already down to 0, so no big deal. Wow, you weren't kidding when you say that we can spread pretty quickly. You aren't kidding at all. Let's go for those drug resistances, because we're getting into Europe and the rest of the wealthy world. Holy crap, okay. I wish I had some severity now. What else we got here? Headache? Sure. Causes consistent but no specific headaches, though the human is unaware of the presence. Okay? Yeah, basically, the way that it controls you is supposed to be like it applies headaches and presses on your ocular stuff unless you're facing in the direction of hydrogen sulfide. So it tries to compel you to go in that direction so it can leave, kind of knock you out, and then get out of your nose and go to wherever the hydrogen sulfide is. That's the goal. You feel extreme discomfort if you don't do what it says, basically. Let's go for Larva 3. We probably want to get symbiosis. They've discovered me. That's fine. A cryblack parasite. That's perfectly fine. We could go for symbiosis, but at this point, honestly, I kind of want the severity because that's more DNA. I'm going to run out of gas if I don't. Let's apply pressure to the optic nerves. On maturation, SCP-1104 begins applying pressure to the host's optic nerves, affecting vision when the host is away from local atmospheric hydrogen sulfide. Hey! Sometimes it's like I know what I'm talking about. Periodically, Indonesia shuts down the airports. Too little, too late. Leading. Starts leading the host to sufficient sources of hydrogen sulfide, increasing severity. I guess okay. Yeah, sure. They're going to start working on that cure pretty quickly, though. Open wide. SCP-1104 projects appendages into the host's prefrontal cortex, causing unconsciousness, during which SCP-1104 exits the host via the ocular cavity. The ocular or the nasal? I thought it was the nasal. Maybe it's the ocular. In which case, that's even worse. Subterranean Life. The subterranean life of SCP-1104 has not been documented. Unlocks new ability and makes it harder to cure. We are now lethal, I just realized. Okay, we'll pick that up, I guess. Evolution. New transmissions and symptoms. Pick it up. Now we have reptiles. New smaller types of will target reptiles to hijack and carry larvae. Bird 2. Becomes almost completely indigestible. Take that, morning commuters. SCP-1104 needs to evolve. Evolve. SCP-1104 needs to evolve by targeting new prey. You must guide it and its offspring in their evolution. You must hurry, as time is ticking. The SCP Foundation will discover you and they will destroy you. No, don't do it. They have found us. They've once again discovered the general locations in which our kind might be. Hurry before they destroy us. I'm working on it. Let's go for reptiles. There's rodents and other stuff there. I'm just having a really hard time getting enough DNA. This is the problem, right? So if you have really low severity because you're trying not to get discovered, and then you have a scenario that gives you enough infectivity to kind of suddenly boost throughout the world, that's so many DNA points you've lost out on. Which is basically exactly what's happened, and now we can't even get into Greenland, so we're screwed, right? We're screwed? We're screwed? I'm pretty sure we're screwed. Alright, let's try this one again. Okay, so we've managed to infect the world fairly well. Managed to go up the reptiles, the rodents, and then to pets, which unlocks a new symptom. 1104A, the wolf crab. Makes its home in more rural areas. It also has chitin that is a tiny bit stronger, and it has 6 long legs that can run fast. Very lethal. I'm kind of dependent here upon mutations to carry me the rest of the way here. So the problem with the scenario here at this point, in my opinion, is that we really did have to, we had to go under the radar. You were correct on that one, but we've gotten to a point where we're completely out of gas with not much to do, not a lot of lethality, so we're kind of just waiting on orange bubbles and then just mutation to carry me the rest of the way, which is a little annoying. Not the best way to play the scenario, my personal belief, but oh well. It is one of those times, though, if it is a long scenario, it's definitely one of those times when you want to have catalytic switch. Wish I had known that going into it, but I did not. Oh well, it's fine. But yeah, now at least we're starting to ramp up some lethality, so it's starting to work. So yeah, it's just a slow scenario, basically. Which can be good and can be bad. So let's see. We could go for horses, which we'll do. I don't need... And here's the other problem, right? So I know that the author is trying to have you evolve, and it's like, all right, we have to escape the SCP Foundation and find new ways to transmit the eggs. And that's fine. That's all well and good. Here's the problem, though. By the time we have gotten to the point where I am able to evolve and I need to do things like that, I have already infected 90% of the world, and more infectivity here is not going to help me. That's the only problem, really, here. It's hoops that don't actually help you make progress. They're just hoops for the sake of hoops. And that's not me being really critical as much as I'm... Well, I guess it's critical, but I'm not trying to be, like, mean-spirited about it. It really is just trying to think, like, okay, so is this really necessary? Does this help you in any way? I guess if you were falling behind and you evolved early, it could be good. I don't know. I'm not even sure that I'm necessarily correct on that, frankly. It's something just to consider. Let's go for drag the bodies. They drag the bodies to nests or other areas of sufficient hydrogen sulfide. Grab that. So I think that's corpse transmission, which doesn't matter at this point. So yeah. I don't know. That's just sort of one thing I'm thinking about. Again, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But it certainly seems possible that this transmission stuff is kind of unnecessary and maybe would be better served in either a form of symptoms or abilities? Maybe. Then again, if you do that, then symptostasis and pathostasis becomes really overpowered, too. Alright. SCP-1104, the Lazarus Crab. The appearance is widely debated. It hides in dead bodies by posing as the skeleton to wait for unsuspecting SCP agents, police, or victims. Corpse transmission. Again, though, transmission at this stage of the game just doesn't work. So it's not that you're wrong necessarily to want to add on that extra stuff, right? Extra transmission options are good. Corpse transmission is good. However, if the only time you're able to get it because you're so out of gas is when you're 99% of the way done with the scenario, I don't know. What purpose did it really serve? I guess that's the only question I would ask here. Again, it's not that this is a bad scenario by a long shot. It's actually pretty good. I do like it. I think it's pretty well done here. It's just a question for the author, and no one else can say really what to do here. I'm just offering critique for the author here, feedback. Really consider, does this help balance the scenario? Does it serve a purpose? Or does this make it kind of, I don't know, just have some extra hoops that really don't serve any particular purpose? Because again, you've chosen a particular disease type where you are encouraged to have very little severity, if any at all, while you spread throughout the entire world, which means you're going to basically be operating about half the DNA you normally would. Now, obviously, I was able to get through it, so it's not so unbalanced that it's broken. Don't worry about that. But just understand that that's something you've done. And because you've done it that way, you're going to be low on gas and not have a lot of DNA in order to even get to those transmissions. And by the time you've gotten to them, you've already infected most of the world, and they don't serve any purpose besides just things to pick up in order to get more symptoms. If that makes any sense. So again, I don't think it's a bad scenario at all. I think it's pretty good. That's just one thing that I would encourage the author to think about and decide what they want to do. Ultimately, it's their choice, so they can do what they want. That's just, if I had to make a critique, if I had to give them some feedback, that's what I would do. Yes, I'll say that I liked it. That was pretty good. All right, cool. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Hit the notify button, and I will see you guys next time.